Hey, it's Gabe with API Nation. Today I'm going to show you how you can sync ActiveCampaign and Google Sheets. And you can do some awesome things with this connection. One thing, you can have everybody from ActiveCampaign synced into a Google Sheet so that they're all in the same place. You have a nice backup of all your contacts, and it's ongoing too. So as you add contacts into ActiveCampaign, they continue to get added also onto that Google Sheet. So you can share it or you can use it for something else. So that's one awesome application here. The other way is to set it up the opposite direction. So if you have people who are signing up for a form, or if you're just adding people to a Google Sheet for a list, you can connect that Google Sheet to ActiveCampaign so they automatically get added to ActiveCampaign. They start getting your emails. You can place them on automations automatically. And this is super easy to set up. So let me show you how. The first thing I'm going to show you is kind of that second idea. So setting up a Google Sheet to sync into ActiveCampaign. And you might just be manually adding people to this Google Sheet, but a more popular way often is to set up a Google form and then have people fill that out. Maybe you're emailing it out to people. Maybe you're at like an open house and you just want them to fill it out on an iPad. You can do it any of these different ways. So you just create a Google form. So I have one here called contact information. And it's just asking for their name, their email, all that normal stuff. I'm actually going to change this to first name and last name because that's what it is in ActiveCampaign. First name, last name. Great. So I'm asking for first name, last name, email, address. I don't actually need that. Let's get rid of that. But we'll take phone number. Cool. So this looks great. If you have address, no problem. Totally works. So now I have this form. What I want to do here is go to responses, and I'm going to create a spreadsheet. Contact information, let's do it. So now I've created a spreadsheet and it's sent me here. Great. So we've created a Google form and we've told it to put those people on a spreadsheet. Now we're going to connect this spreadsheet to ActiveCampaign. So to do that, we're going to go to API Nation, click on Discover Connections. So we're at apination.com, and now you can see all the apps you can automate through API Nation. I'm going to come on down here to Google Sheets under G, click on that. And today we're automating Google Sheets with ActiveCampaign. So I'm going to click on that. And here you can see we have the two options available, either ActiveCampaign sending a backup of all its contacts into a Google Sheet, or a Google Sheet sending people who you add to that Google Sheet into ActiveCampaign. That's the one we're setting up right now, so I'm going to activate that one. First step, sign into your API Nation account. If you don't have one, just click this link at the top to create one, or you can sign in with Google, which is what I'm going to do, and sign right in. Great. Next step is to connect Google Sheets. That's going to look really similar to signing in with Google. Just hit connect, choose your Google account, and allow. Be sure to choose the Google account, the same Google account you use to set up this form. That way you have access to the form and the spreadsheet. Now we're going to set up the ActiveCampaign connection. This is pretty simple. I'm just going to hit connect. It's asking me for three things: a label, a user URL, and a user key. The label is just the name of the connection. So if you have multiple connections, maybe you're just setting this up for multiple people with different ActiveCampaign accounts, you can make sure they're named after those people to better manage them. Let's grab that URL and key. I'm going to go into ActiveCampaign and sign in. Come down here to settings, and then I'm going to go to developer. Should be right around here. Boop, there it is. Click on that, and that's going to show me the URL. Copy API URL, go back to API Nation, and paste it in there. And the key, same thing. Copy API key, go back, paste it in. Great. Hit connect. So that's it. That's all it takes to connect ActiveCampaign, and now it's connected to API Nation. And if I want to set up more syncs in the future, it's going to be super easy. It's just already going to be available. All right, a couple final things here to create this connection. It's asking me, all right, Google Sheets. We're connected to Google Sheets. Which sheet specifically do you want synced into ActiveCampaign? So we're going to go to that sheet we created earlier, contact information, responses. Highlight this whole thing, hit Control-C, go on back to API Nation and paste it in there. There we go. So Google Sheets URL. Anybody who fills out this form automatically gets added to this Google Sheet, and they're going to get put into ActiveCampaign. And where do we want them to go? I want them to go on, you can just have them sent into default. I'm going to have them put into my new leads list. Maybe you also have an automation already set up for these people. So if you're running an open house or you're running some other event and people are signing up for it, maybe you can build out an automation in ActiveCampaign that kind of follows up on that event and keeps in touch with them. So you just select that automation here. And you can also tag these people if you want to tag them for the future, saying anybody who came through this spreadsheet, through that form, has this specific tag. Finally, you're going to choose your subscription plan. You can do yearly or monthly. You can see you save quite a bit if you do yearly, so definitely consider that. And then hit subscribe. All right, so we've created the sync. Now we're just going to do a few more things before we activate it. We're going to come on down here. We're sending people from this spreadsheet into this contact list. Maybe you want to filter people. Not much to filter on really, because it's a very simple form, but totally up to you. You can choose any of these fields to filter by. You would just choose it, phone number. Maybe I want to filter by phone number contains 901. And then I'm only sending over people who phone number has a 901 in it. Maybe that's a good area code for an area I'm focused on. I could do that. But I'm going to go with no filter. Come on down here to mapping. You can see first name and last name are coming over. Great. Let's grab the phone number. Boop. I hit that plus sign, choose phone number. Same thing with email. Hit the plus sign, choose email. This looks great. I'm going to go to the top and activate the sync. So there we go. I've now set it up so that this Google form, anybody who fills this out gets automatically added to this spreadsheet, which is connected to ActiveCampaign through API Nation. So I can just hand somebody an iPad, they put in their information, bam, they're in a spreadsheet, and they're also added to ActiveCampaign. I don't have to do anything. So that's one setup. The other one is to create the backup of all my ActiveCampaign contacts. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to click on either ActiveCampaign or Google Sheets here at the top, and that's going to take me back to all the syncs available for that app. And I'm just going to choose ActiveCampaign. And then instead of doing Google Sheets into ActiveCampaign, this time I'm going to do ActiveCampaign into Google Sheets. And this way I can sync all my contacts on an ongoing basis into a separate sheet to just have as a nice backup. Or maybe I want to share it with an ISA or another marketing team who needs access to my contacts easily. So I'm going to sync everybody. I'm going to name the sheet. I'm going to call this my ActiveCampaign contacts, and then choose your subscription plan. Hit subscribe. Finally, we're going to do a final check before we activate. Again, if there's anything specific you want to filter on, you could do it. It's going to pull all the information we have access to here in ActiveCampaign and put it in a Google Sheet. This looks great. I'm going to activate the sync. Cool. So now I'm backing up all my contacts on an ongoing basis into a Google Sheet. So we have two syncs running. All those people who fill out the form getting put into ActiveCampaign, and then ActiveCampaign is creating a separate complete backup of all my contacts just in case, so I always have them ready to go. So that's it. That's how you set up the sync between ActiveCampaign and Google Sheets. Sometimes it can also include Google Forms if that's what you want to use. Or there's other apps that'll also sync out to a Google Sheet that you can connect into ActiveCampaign. For example, I know Typeform will do it. It'll automatically put people into a Google Sheet. Just grab that Google Sheet, load it up into API Nation, which will connect it to ActiveCampaign, and then you're up and running. So it's a great way to save yourself a ton of data entry by just connecting these sheets to ActiveCampaign. If you have any questions or need any assistance, give us a phone call, shoot us an email. We're API Nation, connecting the world's applications. We love doing this stuff.